All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Upscale Love for You, Tantalizing Talk Thursday. And we're coming to you on tonight with some great conversation. And I am yours truly, Dr. Fabulous, the CEO and founder of Upscale Love for You, Tantalizing Talk Thursday. And tonight I'm going to have my co-hosts introduce themselves, none other than Action J. Are you available, Action J? Can you hear me, Action J?
Hey, you guys. Good night, everyone. Welcome to
Mhm.
welcome to another episode of Upscale Love. I'm your co-host, Action J, and hope we have a great show tonight. So pass over to Dr. Fab.
All right. Lady T, are you available?
Yes, Dr. Fowl, welcome everyone. I just want to say thank you for signing on tonight. And also, we're coming up to the wire with voting. Please remember to get out there and vote. It's very important. And I'm going to pass it on over to DFG.
All right.
Ladies and gents, this is DFG in the place to be, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you live from the 571 where we're having fun and I'm getting things done. Starting it off, I'm just going to make it funky and keep it chunky. Now back to you, Dr. Fab.
All right. I'm going to send it on over to Social Media Diva.
Good evening, everyone. A Social Media Diva here. Just some quick announcements. We are thrilled to invite everyone to our first ever online Halloween party happening Thursday, October 31st. We do encourage everyone to join in for the fun and wear creative costumes. However, if you don't celebrate Halloween, you can still be a part of the fun just by wearing different fall colors. And do expect a night full of exciting games, amazing prizes, and a lot of good vibes. We're looking forward to seeing everyone there. And if you guys have any other questions or thoughts, feel free to email us at upscaleloveforyou@gmail.com. Okay. Back to you.
All right. Well, let me just make one little quick correction. It's not a Halloween party. It's costume party. Because you know, some people don't celebrate Halloween, but you can costume 24/7. So, you know, that's what it is. And I'm looking forward to see all of you good people October 31st with some fabulous costumes on. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight is an open forum. And tonight we're going to talk about anything and everything, anything that's on your heart, on your mind that you want to talk about, reflect on, all of that good stuff. And Lady T said something that's so very important: voting. Please, everyone, get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, just get out and vote, because if you don't vote, your voice doesn't count. But every vote matters, but I need you to get out there and do it. So if you haven't registered to vote, you have until October 7th to go and register to vote. After which, please get out there and vote. So with that being said, now
Let me chime in really quickly, Dr. Fab. My apologies. One thing that I wanted to say, I'm not sure how the rest of the country is, but here in South Florida, you know, as a culture, they stick together. They meaning all the cultures. So if you're Jewish, Hispanic, Arabic, Jamaican, Haitian, whatever, when it's time to vote, they go out in numbers. Russians, I mean, you name it. So what I'm asking everyone to do is double check your registration card, double check your license, and please go out and vote. Thank you.
all right. Well, thank you, Lady T, for that. Also, what was it? Registration. If you all are not registered to vote, you can Google and put in locations or your zip code of where you can get registered to vote. And they are registering you up to vote until October 7th. But don't wait to then. Get on out and do it now while you have a chance, okay? So, with that being said, it is an open forum, and tonight we're going to talk about a whole lot of everything. So, I'm going to start this off because it was brought to my attention by Mr. Dix that Thursday nights are football nights right now during the football season. But because I don't watch football, it's not that important to me. But to some people, it's important. And I was informed that the Patriots are playing tonight. And I think he said the Jets. But what I want to say to my radio audience, to my Facebook family and friends, you got to learn how to multitask. Because if you was at work and you was trying to watch these football games, by golly, you would make it happen. So, Mr. Dix, if you can hear me, I want you to know just go ahead on and multitask so that you can enjoy Tantalizing Talk Thursday also. And so I'm going to start it off with, you know, it's majority of the people that come on are normally 40 and older. Because I can say 40 now, because my baby cousin Anson has turned 40. So the majority of everyone that comes on the podcast, with the exception of social media diva, is normally over the age of 40. So, my question tonight is, when you're over the age of 40, does looks still matter when you're dating, or is it like a major concern of how the individual look opposed to how the individual actually treats you as a person when dating? And I'm going to ask, and I know he probably hemmed up in that doggone football game because he got that picture up tight and not saying a word, because he usually would be responding by now. But Mr. Dix, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so the question was, when you're over the age of 40, does the looks stand precedence of the person you're trying to date, or is it personality? What is the, how can I say, is it very important at that stage of the game? Because I think, because I'm 60 and I know I'm not having no more children or anything, because when you're younger, you're looking at the individual trying to figure out, well, if I have a baby from this person and it looked like this and it looked like that, because you want your children to have a fair chance at life when it comes to looks. So, Mr. Dix, tell me, is that important to you now? Looks or personality?
Well, looks aren't, top priority. Um, they definitely matter, but they're not priority. It's about person's personality. You got to find common ground within you and that other person. You definitely have to have great communication, consistency, compatibility, and so many other factors. Looks, I'm not so hung up on looks at that. I'm 54 now, so they're not as important, but they
They
do
still
play their
have,
part. Yeah,
they
they
do
still
have
have
just a
them.
little teeny bit in
A
there.
little more than a T notching, but I got you.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Diggs, so that was a male's point of view. Ladies, is there anyone that would like to tell me your thoughts on it when you're over the age of 40? What are your thoughts? Do you think it's very important? I'm not looking at you, social media diva, because you haven't hit 40 yet. I'll come back to you. but I need someone that is at least 40. I'm gonna call on Andreen. I see her name, but I don't see her face. But I'm gonna call on Andreen. Can you hear me, Andreen? Andreen, you lost? Oh, Andreen not talking tonight. I'm gonna come on down here to I'm gonna either get Kimberly, Jackie, or Lady T.
I can go.
Okay, well go
Um,
ahead and go.
you know, I'm unique. I think looks does not matter because I think when you have a person that's more involved in themselves, they cannot be involved in you. So I think if I had the chance to date, the very first factor would be generosity. And that would tell me that you're not selfish. It doesn't matter what you look like. And to be honest with you, I probably would even date someone ugly. You can always polish them up.
So when you say ugly, that's your okay. So what might be unattractive? We're gonna use the word unattractive. What may be
Okay, I'm sorry,
unattractive?
unattractive.
Polished ugly.
Okay, so what may be unattractive to you may be, I mean, super sexy to someone else. But what you're saying is, as long as they're treating you right, it does not
Yes,
matter how they look. Okay, all right,
correct. And the
all
first rule
right.
is they have to be generous.
And they have to be generous. So when you say generous, generous how? Give me some more explanation on your generosity.
Generous, like constantly thinking about you, making sure putting you first. Like if you're stopping by the, I don't know, gas station, you're in the car together, you're stopping by the gas station and they say, "Hey babe, do you want something?" And I say no. But guess what? You know that I like those peanut M&Ms and you'll go in and pick that up anyway and a bottle of water. So, I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You even thought about me when I said no." And picking up the phone, just saying hi. Nothing. You don't have to text a sentence, a paragraph, none of that. Just say hi, thinking of you. Generous, going out to dinner, ensuring that the server pours my wine first, versus yours. Just always putting me first, just thinking, and not me telling you or hinting to you. You are doing it on your own.
Okay, all right, I like that. Andreen, you got your hand up because I thought you was out and about.
No, I was playing around with my computer and couldn't figure out how to get back to answers. Um, I think when you reach a certain age, looks become less and less a priority. Like kind of like Lady T said, you consider how the person treats you, if they are like able to offer you whatever it is you feel that you need at the time. I feel like looks are like a plus, but it's not. I feel like once you get older, it's not the forefront of things. Because if you're beautiful,
See,
I feel like she said, they're not making you a priority, or they're not the person that is satisfying what you need. I think the superficial stuff goes out the way once you get older.
yeah, because I was thinking about that the other day. I said, you're getting older, Dr. Fabulous. You still fabulous, but you're getting older. So everything that you used to have on your check sheet, you can kind of like throw that out the window. Because some days that old right knee go to hurting, and you might need him to massage it with a little Bengay. You might have to massage him down. So sometimes everything not working like it used to work when you was 35. So I think that in my older age, and I'll say as Mr. Dick said, looks is just a little teeny bit to me now. It used to be when I was thinking about having children. Ooh, when I had a whole list, I wanted them to have these color eyes, that color eye. I wanted them to have nice hair because I wanted my children to have nice hair. I wanted to be, I just truly had a checklist. But now it doesn't matter to me as long as they know how to treat me and I know how to treat them. We get along well. That's a plus for me right there. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask my next question for the evening, and then I'm going to send it right on over to Action J to see if he's ready. So, get ready, Action J, because it's coming your way. All right. So, the next question was we talked about in older age, is looks important to you? The next key factor is, and I'm going to come on back to Mr. Dix one more time, intimacy and romance and all of that good stuff. Is that very important in older age or older individuals when they're dating? Because some older individuals are still frisky. Not to say I am, but nevertheless, um, some older individuals still enjoy different things in life. And I want to know, Mr. Dix, is that very important to you in your age at 54 that your mate is spontaneous and still have, as a my husband used to say, if they're still active in intimacy area, and if you know what I'm speaking of. Do you hear me, Mr. Dix? Mr.
Yes, I hear you.
You can hear me, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that for myself, intimacy is important, but there's so many different ways of sharing intimacy with someone that you're with. You know what I mean? It could
Okay.
be an intimate moment with just watching a movie. You know, it's intimacy is a word that you two have to define with your chemistry with one another. You
Okay.
know, and if you're compatible, you know it'll work out. You know, you understand the limitations of your partner may have in your anything like that. So intimacy it's an individuality thing for me. You
All
find
right.
that
Well,
person that some people at 60 might be a little bit more frisky than I would personally be, but you know, you can find common ground in that. I think it doesn't always have to be physical intimacy as far as intercourse.
right,
There's
because no, no,
many
no.
other ways
I
to
was
be
talking about
intimate.
holding hands, strolling on the beach,
Yeah, yeah,
different things.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I
That's
like that. I like that. So I'm going to ask one moment, please. I'm going to ask Simply Beautiful. And if you don't know who Simply Beautiful is, that's none other than Leanne. Leanne, can you hear me? I know you watching football, Leanne, because you one of those football individuals too. But can you hear me, Leanne?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Good evening, Leanne. So when you come into a situation or a relationship, even, I'm going to say a relationship because I don't know if you're in a relationship or not. What are the key points that you look for as far as with an individual? And I stated that as a woman of my age, when you get up a little up in age, sometimes, most of the time, looks really don't matter. But I want to hear your standpoint on that.
Okay, so looks, you got to look at looks is a God given.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not something we can change. So I come from the heart. I want to come from the heart because God made me look this way. Not when I say looks, I'm not meaning like Beyonce, all of that. You look how you look. We have our features of how we have our features, and you got to understand that person in their heart, because you could be the finest man out there and be the worst man out there at the same time. And same thing, vice versa. The finest woman and the worst woman. I'm not trying to male bash. So I usually go for the heart. I'm very direct and honest. I try to stay true to whatever um whoever I am. And I am a little rough around the edges, the corners, or whatever you want to know. But it takes understanding and communication in order to learn people. And if you're not selfish and it's not all about, like Lady T, all about I, me, you can kind of get somewhere.
What does
All
rough
right.
around the edges mean?
I'm hard. Who's there asking the question? I'm hard. That's all I can say. I'm rough. I'm rough around the edges. I'm
You
not,
you're
I'm
not
not,
domestically beating people up, are you?
I don't touch. No, I'm not abusive, honey. No. What I'm saying
Oh,
rough
okay.
around the edges is, you know how, okay, so I'm gonna use Lady T as an example because she has that soft edge about her. I come like direct, honest, cutthroat to the core. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to be straight up, real talk, and honest. That's just who I am, and I've always been this way, especially from whence I cometh. I'll say it like that.
This is right up my alley.
And said, I knew you were gonna, because you understand me, but everybody grows up, or when we were little or younger, our environment was different. We may have a lot in common with our environment, but I grew up kind of on the poor side, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say that, because my mom made me go to college and made me what I am today. She made me do what I needed to do to be able to not live the way we were living.
Period.
So what'd you say? What'd you say, social media?
Period.
Period. Yes. So if you grew up not having that silver spoon in your mouth, you kind of learn how to survive. You struggle, you survive, and you become that person. It's not easy to change and say, hey, I was this way this many years. I can't be that soft-spoken Lady T. But I'm agreeing with her that I don't have to necessarily be first. I'm gonna say it like that. Because first in the moment, I think that's what you were trying to say, Lady T, first in the moment, because you were in the car at the gas station and he thought about you. But know this, ladies.
No.
I
No,
got
I mean first, period.
no,
First
see,
in everything.
that's not the order though. God is
I mean,
first.
well, of course, I'm not
So,
God. We're not
but
talking
I don't,
spiritual right now.
okay, then I don't have to be first in everything, because I might not be able to put him first. But he's gonna be on the hand in that handful of 1 through 5.
Yeah, but if he puts you first, okay, so
You might not be able to put him first. You got
wait a
kids.
minute. Wait a minute. So if he is considerate and compassionate of your feelings, and he's generous towards you, generous is like in anything. That could be anything. Mentally, physically, spiritually, sexually, anything. Then you want to reciprocate, treating him, making him feel first too.
If you can.
No exceptions.
Okay. Then you got your life bent out of shape, because your babies come before any man, okay?
Damn.
I'm just saying.
We ain't talking about babies.
No, we ain't talking about life. We're talking about life. That man may not.
Right. But if you have a traditional man that puts you first, he's going to be considerate of everything with you. So if you go to work, you come home tired, he sees that you're tired. He's going to say, babe, sit down. Let me rub your feet a few minutes. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll take care of the children. And he goes and he take care of the kids.
But he went to work all day too. He went to work
so,
all day too.
But he's willing to sacrifice himself because he knows that you are the glue.
Okay, I'm not going to like I said, I'm not as gentle as you are, so I'm gonna shut the hell up, because I'm not gonna say a man's gonna always be first, or I am going to always be first. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, well, ladies, that was a tit for tat and a thought. Make you go, hmm, first or not? Tater tot. Okay. So Simply Beautiful, I changed your name tonight to Simply Beautiful because I didn't want your government out there. Okay, Simply Beautiful. So, with that being said, we're going to take a pause for the cause, and DFG is going to give you a little commercial break.
What is
This
that?
is your girl, Dr. Fabulous, educator by day, podcaster by night. And yes, I'm coming on today to invite you to Tantalize and Talk Thursday, but I'm also setting the precedence. October 31st is Halloween night, and we will still be having our Tantalize and Talk, but we want you to come on with your best costume, and we are going to be giving out great prizes and gifts for that night. So, without further ado, if you don't celebrate Halloween, you got Hallelujah Night, you got Harvest Night, but we're putting it out early. So, October 31st, remember that date. Upscale Love for You will be giving out some wonderful gifts for the best costume. Now, you know you don't want Dr. Fabulous to win them all. So, come on, we're going to have a ball. Until then, you all, smooches. Mwah. All right, all right. So, don't forget October 31st. And where is my Action J? Are you ready, Action J?
I'm ready. Ready, lights, camera,
All
action. Can you guys
lights,
hear me?
camera, action, and Jackson is ready.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, so since Dr. Fabulous mentioned earlier, dating pools getting smaller the older you get. So this question is for people looking for
I
someone,
didn't
right?
say, I did not say the dating pool gets smaller as you get older.
Well, the
As a matter
options
of
are
fact,
limited.
it get more enhanced.
The options are limited, right? So this,
Not necessarily.
okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna
So
steal your
it's for
thunder,
anyone. So
but
how do you
okay.
guys feel about dating a person who's married, right, but separated from their spouse, but refuse to get a divorce because they may lose their benefits? What are you guys' views on that? And
Wait, let
benefits
me
are
reiterate. Are you saying a person you should you or could you date someone that's still married,
no,
but they're
you're
separated? They're
correct.
separated,
They're
but they won't
separated.
get a divorce because they don't want to lose their benefits.
Correct.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called
Oh,
complicated. Your status is complicated. And
But
then in my Whitney Houston voice, hell to the no. Get your business in order and then go date.
okay. So Anson has his hand raised.
go ahead, Anson.
We can't hear you,
Anson.
Anson. You muted.
Sorry about that. Um, for that situation that you just posed,
Yeah.
that should tell you as a man, if you're looking to date this woman, everything that you need to know about this woman before you even attempt to date her. Because if she wants to remain married and wants to
Okay,
date you,
Anson.
that is just selfish. That's all it boils down to. Ain't no need to look no further because she's letting you know off rip that she has a selfish personality. If that's what you want to partake in, go ahead. But to me, she's already let me know that she ain't one for me.
Okay, so Action J, that's selfishness. But in the chat, Dr. Feelgood said that a lot of people do that in the military because they don't want to lose their
The benefit.
military benefits. So they stay married, not even with the person, but still continue to date as single. Now, I'm gonna add on to Action J and piggyback onto that, do you think that person should let that be known prior to dating someone so that they can make that decision whether or not they want to enter in that type of relationship? Because
Correct.
that person could fall in love and be wanting to walk down the aisle with wedding bells. So, are you going to tell that person that up front to let them know, hey, listen, I'm still married. We're not together, but I'm only with that person because I want to keep my military benefits. I see two hands up. Lady T's hand was up first, and then I'm going to come over to DFG. Come on, Lady T.
I think you should always be upfront. And if someone is telling you that, whether it's male or female, run, because that means you're in a threesome. How can you date someone? How can you move on and truly give that other person yourself, and you still have this, you're tied to someone else? So
But you guys,
spiritually,
Lady T, you guys are separate, live in separate households. A lot of people, it's
does
normal.
not matter. Spiritually, you are connected. You are still one. So you are committing adultery. Clean your business up. Clean your business up. Stop
Wait a
being
minute,
lazy.
Lady T, what you mean committing adultery?
They're separated.
Because you're still married.
Oh, because they still married.
Yes, you're still
Okay,
In the
married.
what if
Bible,
they-
in the Bible, it says that it says that Simply Beautiful, that except it be for adultery. If a man gets rid of it, puts away his wife, and marries another woman, he commits adultery. That's what, and that is, it's the same. It's sort of the same principle. However, Lady T does have a point with that. With you got to get your stuff in order, and not everybody does that. Not everybody does that. You finish, Lady T, because I want to jump in.
No, and the other thing is you have to be considerate of that person's feelings who's trying to pursue. They
But
will
then
never. Yes, go ahead.
sometimes, Lady T, a person may not want to get married. I'm just saying, some people are just open with the fact that they've been married before, but it didn't work and they don't want to lose the benefits. It could be health benefits or retirement plan with a person by the choke in a couple of years, right? And if they file for divorce, they lose all the benefits. So how do you justify
How
that?
you have Cobra. You can file for divorce and you'll have the option to pay for those benefits. You just being
But it
lazy.
costs more.
Divorce is you lose the
like
benefits.
$800 to $1,000 a month.
Exactly. It's more for Cobra.
$800 to $1,000 a month. Say it, Renee. Okay, I know you need to speak Dr. Feel Good, but Lady T, understand this.
Okay.
And I was gonna use divorce. Even if you're divorced and got the same last name, and that man or that woman is you may have kids and all for the goodness just from the heart, keeping you on their insurance or putting you on their insurance because of hardship reasons. What is your take on that if they already divorced but got the same last name, but he or she is putting him or her on their insurance to save that $800 to $1,000 a month? I put a little twist there.
Thanks.
Lady T.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Okay. All right. So you
No, tell me because I want to know.
Right, since they're separated, I need you to just think as if it were you. If they're separated,
okay,
you said,
I will.
and Dr. Fieldgood said you're married. So my thing is they're divorced, but he and she were married, have the same last name, and to save him or her from paying $800 to $1,000 a month for health insurance. What is your take on that?
Okay, so they were married. They are not divorced.
Divorced. They are
They
divorced.
are divorced.
They are
Mhm.
divorced, and they
Mhm.
still have the same last name.
Yes.
What's the big deal? If she want to keep the name, keep the name.
Well,
She
one
might-
You
of
didn't
the
get.
No,
You didn't.
you
one of
missing
the
my
missing it.
point.
other.
Lady
Missing my
T,
point.
It's about the
I'm
benefits.
you missing it. He's still allowing her to be on his health benefits and everything. But I'm a little confused because I know some
Yeah.
military individuals that are divorced, and because she has been married to him for so long, she didn't lose her benefits or anything just because they got divorced. So I don't know if you have to be married for a certain amount of time in
10 years,
order
10 years of a
benefit.
20-year career.
Yeah.
The way it works out is if a spouse is married for the majority of your career in the military, you vest at 20 years. So it's 10 years and a day. If you're married more than 10 years a day, they're entitled to 1/4 of your pension for life unless you get married. Also, the longer you stay married to the person, the more you get, up to 50%. So, and you still retain your the spouse, man or female. They still get a chance to wear. They still get a chance to get the ID card, all that other good stuff, so that they still get the benefits. Now, if they remarry before the age of 65, then they forfeit those benefits because they're saying, well, you did, you're not, that guy's no longer responsible for you. I understand I definitely understand what Simply Beautiful was saying with respect to that. And I was gonna say it doesn't only, the person who is least likely to divorce is the person with the most to lose. So think about that, and I'll give you two examples, two celebrity examples. Okay, Tyrese's both his wives divorced him. They didn't have anything. He didn't want to get divorced. Well, he is who he is, but he didn't want to get divorced. But he had more to lose. With Halle Berry's husband divorced her because she had more to lose. So the chances with that's kind of how it usually goes. And I'm sorry, I keep cutting Lady T off. Go on, Lady T. I'm sorry, you didn't finish your point.
You're good, but final words. I'm just saying, I don't think you're being fair to that person because you're still tied to someone else. But if you have a divorce, I'm not familiar with the military life, but civilian wise, if you want to keep that person's last name, that's fine. But once you get a divorce, it's up. You can have a contract with you and that person, whether or not you want to cover the medical insurance or benefits, and then you reimburse them. You
And
know.
and there are some things behind that, and that's what I was going to talk about. Action J. There are couples, civilian, that are married, what's called married on paper. Different reasons to marry on paper. The object is that they understand that it's a contract. Yes, if you are with the person, you don't live in the person. You live in California, they live in New York. Y'all still married on paper, but you're not acting married. And then you meet somebody, like Lady T said. This is where I agree with Lady T, is that if you meet somebody and they're in that situation, you got to say, hold up. If they come to you straight up and say, hey, this is my situation, this is what it is. I'm not going to get married because I'm not going. I mean, I got all these things going on, and then allow that person to make that decision on their own. Too many times, we as people take the decision out of other people's hands instead of just saying, "Hey, this is what it is." And that's why I agree with Simply Beautiful. This is what it is. If you want to be with me, we can't get married, but I can make sure you're taken care of. So a lot of people treat marriage as a piece of paper anyway, but in regards, there's only one biblical reason of divorce, and that's adultery. Adultery can be expressed many different ways. But I remember one of my pastors, when I was stationed in New York, about 25 years ago, my pastor said, I understand what the Bible says. However, if the one spouse is beating on the other, I don't have a problem with that. And I agree with that. So that's basically that was basically my answer, Action J. And I will step out.
I appreciate you guys' answer.
And you have another hand up, Andreen. Lady T, is your hand still up because you forgot to take it down, or you wanted to respond more? Come on,
Andrew,
Andreen.
you're on mute.
All right. Yeah. I think again, this plays into what you want from a relationship. And I feel like that though, I think it's to each his own, and I think it just depends on the person. That would probably be a no-go for me if you're already married. Not that I necessarily, I don't know. And I'm trying to figure it out, like why it would just be a no-go. But I just feel like with that though, that's just something that's communicated up front. And if somebody else, if they're with it, they're with it. But it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like there's no release, even though I feel like with some relationships there's not necessarily a release of that relationship, but just to technically still be married. I don't know, but that was a definite interesting scenario. I was gonna say, Action J.
Well, I'm gonna jump on in here because some individuals say they enjoy dating individuals that's married because they don't want the responsibility of a true relationship. And I'm gonna call on Papa Doc on that instance. Papa Doc, can you chime in? Are you busy watching the Patriots and the Jets? Because the Patriots getting beat right now.
Why did I know you was going to call my name? But anyway, how's everybody doing?
We're doing.
Great. So the statement that you just made, okay, so I'll say this because I've been on both sides. It's happened to me both ways. I was, and then the other person was, and separated and married and all that stuff. So everybody is entitled to their opinion. Everybody can choose their own options of how they want to go. But I'm here to tell you it's a gift and it's a curse at the same time. It all depends on how the relationship is built between the two people. Yes, I know there's a Bible and everybody wants to be spiritually and religiously right, but there's this thing called reality that, there's a lot of folks that live outside of the Bible, okay? And it could
Stop
work.
right there, Papa Doc.
Yes,
Answer,
ma'am.
was that an amen corner? Was that an amen corner answer?
I mean, facts are facts.
Oh, no, because I heard you say something. I was trying to figure out, is he saying amen? Okay, go ahead.
You can interpret it that way, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So, it just depends on the two people, what you agree on. Long as you're upfront with one another, you're real with one another, it can work. It has worked, and it has not worked. So it depends on the two people.
So, Papa Doc,
yes, ma'am.
If you fell in love with this individual, but the individual is already in love, I'm not going to say fall in love. You walked in love and you really got into this individual and you wanted to pursue them, would you concentrate or continue to tell them that you want them to get a divorce? How does that work? That's my question.
So when you like you kind of stepped on my toe a little bit when you said
that bunion.
You got real close on that bunion. That thing was enough to make me. It was enough to make me have an attitude. But
oh, not the attitude.
So yeah, so you said something like I didn't mind her being married, separated or whatnot. I knew I didn't want to be married again at that particular time. So it was cool for me, the person that I am, the confidence of I am. You know, if you go back, husband, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't bother me or not. Like, but I did protect my feelings in such a way that I made sure that
Now
I
you
wasn't
listen,
going to be
you
hurt
chopping
behind
up
whatever
because we
move she
getting
made.
like
Yeah.
every other word. But I'm gonna jump on in here and say you're
Oh well,
saying
y'all.
that you were chopping up, but you said, did you say that you didn't mind if she went back to her husband because in that point in your life you didn't want to get married again anyway, but you was enjoying
Right.
the activity of a
Right.
pre-settlement, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm
Right.
gonna keep it at
And
that
it.
level. But you rode the horse in the wagon, but then you would go home and say, hey, if you go back to your husband, he can pull that same horse and wagon as well, because you really didn't care, because you was protecting your feelings. So I
Right.
understand what you're saying, and I understand what Lady T was saying, because Lady T May, on the other hand, wanted to get married again. But since you didn't, and I got you. It's
Right.
always a different, and you may find some women that get down like that and enjoy that and all that good stuff. I'm getting all the luxurious things and I'm having the time of my life. And he got a wife. Go on back to your wife, because I'm not doing the laundry, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But if you allow your feelings to get in that picture and you start feeling that love vibe and you just want to, and then you think about it, pump your brakes, because this individual is still married. And with that being said, Papa Doc, you got anything else to say? Because I'm getting ready to turn it on over to the one, the only Dr. Feel Good, because he got some information that's going to make you go, So, Papa Doc, you got anything else you want to give? Papa Doc didn't say nothing else. I really cut that bunion up tonight, y'all. And I know Mr. Dick's over there watching them
So
on that
wait a minute,
football
Dr.
game.
Fab.
Yes.
Dr. Fab. So I just want to say one more thing.
Tell me.
Mind you, this wasn't a short-term relationship. This
Oh.
was 4 or 5 year relationship, you
Oh.
know, and
Well,
what she
honey,
was
let me
doing.
tell you, if it was a 4 or 5 year relationship, her husband ain't want her no more either. He was just pulling the wagon when he can after you finished with it and then flipped it over. She was just a round the way girl. But anywho, I ain't gonna
But wait a
talk
minute.
about you, boo.
but,
I
but
ain't gonna
she
talk
was
about you,
she was
boo.
still trying to keep her benefits. So I understood that
He was
part.
getting benefits from both you and him. So with
Well,
that being said,
more power
we
to her. Yeah.
understand. Ain't nothing like pulling a secondhand wag. And that's all I
Yeah.
got to say about that. Lady
Yeah.
T, you got your hand up.
I sure do, because I have a question.
Go on with your question.
Why would you put yourself in that situation? Like, what would make you stay with that person on paper if you did not love them?
For benefits, what don't you understand?
Why would you
So
care? If you're gonna separate, if you're gonna go your separate ways, why would you care?
Okay, Lady T. Lady T.
I wouldn't
If the,
care.
my thing is, you do care when if you had to shell out $1,000 a month, you already divorced.
I'm talking
You're
about
not
the person who has the benefits.
the person
Why
who
would
have
you
the benefits.
care?
Okay, I'm gonna just do this as an example. The person that has the
Okay.
benefits do not mind keeping their baby's mother healthy so she can take care of them kids instead of him having to. I'm being a little
Who said
funny
they
here.
had children?
No, listen.
But who said they had children?
No, but I'm saying hypothetically, because you're so hard strung on why would someone want to use another person's name for insurance? I use specifically insurance, everybody else saying benefit, but it's still a benefit. If I can save $1,000 a month and it's not hurting anybody, I want to save that $1,000.
Leanne, I'm gonna step on some more bunions, baby. It ain't about insurance, because they
Wait,
can get
let me ask
You
you
can
a
Obamacare.
step on
question.
my toes because I
Dr.
don't have
Fab.
bunions, but big joints.
Obamacare.
Dr. Fowler, wait a minute. So my question is, if you keeping that person for benefits, who's paying for it? Is the person
He's paying for it because you can pay for your own 1,000 if you had to pay him for it. If you had to pay
that's
for
some BS, because that means you still care about this person for something
not
going on, because
necessarily.
there's no way.
No,
Why
not
would
necessarily.
I take money? No, why would I take money out my pocket to take care of someone that I'm not even dealing with?
No, Lady T,
You
listen.
getting off my benefits.
These are
No,
individuals
y'all missing
that's
my
in the
point.
military. You don't know the life of the
We're
military.
not talking about the military. We're talking about in general.
Oh, in general.
Everyone's
See, I don't know about in general.
Everyone's not in the military. Everyone's
Okay.
not in the military. I'm a civilian. I get a
And
divorce. I
Lady
have
T,
the benefits.
Lady T, think about Jeff Bezos when he got divorced. He had to spend
Hey.
millions to his wife,
Who?
ex-wife. I'm
Lady
saying Jeff
T,
Bezos.
even from the broke level, everybody isn't immature. Everybody doesn't hate a person because your relationship doesn't work out.
Thank you,
You
Papa
do
Doc.
things to make
Papa Doc.
things
Maturity
happen.
don't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, the maturity and pettiness has a whole lot to do with it. Yes, it
Nah, I
does.
disagree.
Because you don't have to put hate. You don't have to put
sorry.
hate and
Wait,
dislike
let me
in there.
tell you. If I'm the one who has the benefits and $600 is coming out my check, and he's not contributing to that
No,
$600,
no. It's not that much coming out your check. No.
I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah, but I'm
I
trying to
am
get you
not
to
going to
understand.
waste my $600 on him when I could go buy me some weed. No, ma'am.
Oh,
Not
No,
the weed.
ma'am.
Not the weed.
Weed, whatever, shoes, purse, whatever, pay a bill, whatever. Because
Okay.
if you want me to do that, then you need to pay that cost, your portion.
Yes, and I agree with you, but that's to avoid paying a cost. You're not paying that much. And
Why
whatever
would
you're
I do
paying,
that?
if it's because you got a family and okay, so understanding insurance.
We not a family no more if we broke up.
Okay, but I'm gonna
First
jump
of
in
all,
right
I never
here.
Y'all
once
not
said,
helping me out. Papa
I
Doc,
never
help
once
me,
said
please.
the children. I'm just
Lady
saying,
T.
I'm 60-some years old. The children is grown. It's just me and you. We get a divorce. I'm paying for the benefits out of my check.
Well, if you
Now,
60-some year
You
old,
65.
you get
If you
Medicaid or
65, you don't need
Medicare.
it. You can get Medicare. Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
59.
So let's bring it back
59.
to the reality of
59. Reality, 59.
uh-uh.
If I'm paying for it out of my check, then you need to pay that cost for yourself.
Okay,
Lady
but
T.
listen,
So you're paying 400 instead of 1,000.
Lady T.
Lady T, listen.
Go ahead.
Let me jump in here right quick. Action J. Lady T, when it comes down to insurance, and I know y'all talking benefits, but I'm talking insurance. And I have a beautiful cousin, and you know my beautiful cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He was divorced and everything, and he still carried the entire family because that was just who he was. It wasn't.
That's who he is. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't cost him anything extra because he's carrying the family.
It didn't cost him anything to continue. Well, I take that back. It might
It
have cost him
does.
maybe $24 to $30. So he loved his kids. He still carried his children on the plan for his health care, and she could go if needed. But that was just the kindness of his heart. Like Papa Doc say, just because a relationship doesn't work out, that doesn't mean that you hate them. Well, you got to take them off of your insurance. You got to kick them out. You got to make them go to the.
That's not hate taking somebody off some insurance.
That's
Where you
not.
get
But
hate
let
from?
me say this. Now, this is where the double standards come in. So for a
Okay.
man to take care of that, fine. But for a woman to take care of that, I have a problem with that.
Well, I won't say that because if I had insurance on an individual, a man per se, and we were divorced or whatever, and just understand if he had a disease where he couldn't get insurance anymore or whatever, I'm not going to take him off that insurance because I know he needs those health care benefits. So I'm going to continue to carry him because that would be the person that I am. Everybody
Now,
is
who's
not the
gonna pay
same.
that cost? Who's gonna pay the difference of that
If
cost?
it's
Like
listen,
$30.
if it's $20, if it's $30, I'm gonna bless him regardless of, because God's gonna bless me. And at
Amen.
this time,
Amen.
I'm gonna turn it on over to DFG. You ready, DFG?
I don't care
No,
what y'all
DFG,
say.
no,
200. Okay,
DFG,
what if it was $200?
listen,
What if it was 200 or
Lady
$400?
Lady T,
Yo, I got a
Up.
Bad
You just
connection.
don't have that sweetness and kindness in your heart once it's over. That's all.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is DFG
Oh,
Place
Jesus.
to Be, coming to you live from the 571. I'm going to play a part of a clip. My part is getting married, wanting a family at a later age. We all talked about, Dr. Fabulous said that most of us in here are over 40. And I'm going to talk about two celebrities that are wanting to get married. One is David Banner. If nobody knows who David Banner is, he's a rapper. He's a rapper with a degree in education. So he does his things. I want to say
And
all
activists. And activists.
and Vivica A. Fox, who is 60, and she's looking not to start a family, but she wants to get married. Now, this is a little opinion piece. It's not my opinion, but they're going to cover a little bit so everybody can catch up. Hold on. Here we go.
Well, let me tell you something. David Banner must just left the goddamn prostate office and find out something ain't right. Because at 50 years old, his old ass looking for a wife to settle down with and have some kids with. And she can't be 50. David Banner was the man in the early 2000s in the golden era of Southern rap. He has produced some classic hits. He done starred in some films too, but after about 2008, David Banner disappeared out of the media, and now in 2024, he is now 50 years old, and he looking for a wife, and he trying to have him some goddamn children, y'all. Now in the recent interview, David Banner said, I'm looking for a wife. I'm ready to get married. I want to have some kids. I'm tired. I know your old ass tired. Boy, you're pushing goddamn graveyard years, boy. Cause at about 50 years old, that's when that goddamn mushroom tip start glitching. You gotta hit it a couple times. And Uncle Shay, come on, Michelle. Come on, Michelle. And Uncle Shay. About 50 years old, it start glitching on your ass. And then you got about another 12 years before you start receiving the pension. So you ladies that think you could get with David Banner, you have to wait about the 62 before he start getting a pension from Walmart. A 50-year-old man ain't looking to do all the goddamn them young boys trying to do. They ain't trying to do too much. He want to lay around the house, fart in the bed, and watch goddamn football. And when football season over, y'all ass going to the goddamn casino to play bingo. David Banner looks young to be 50 years old, but looks could be deceiving. You never know when all them years of drinking and smoking and doing all them different kind of drugs might catch up to your old lady. So I got a question.
So that's David Banner. I'm gonna go a little farther and we'll talk about the next person.
Fox and Lisa Ray on the market. See, most men don't look for marriage at goddamn 50 years old. Them to contemplating about divorce year because you done been married and through your 30s to 50 and now you want out that shit. A 50-year-old man definitely ain't trying to raise a newborn baby. So he gonna be about 6 to 8 years old when the child turns 18. Ask Nelly and Ashanti, they about to go through that. Now why would a man go through his golden years of getting all that money, making them hits, going them award shows and all that David Banner did, man, and never think to himself, at 35 years old, I need to find me a life partner right now. I need me some.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Just wanted to give y'all a little background. So here's my take, and anybody wants to jump in. it's easy. It'll be easier for David Banner to get married at 50 and have a family than it would be for Vivica Fox to not to get married, because there are people who want to marry Vivica Fox now. Back 30 years ago, I wanted to marry her. She was my next ex-wife. Then it was Gabrielle Union. Now I ain't even sweating that. But what most men want in a marriage from a partner, they want a partner they can build a family with. Especially if you're getting married, you want to build a family and start your own legacy. David Banner waited to his 50s. Too Short, the rapper Too Short, he's 58 and he's got an 8-year-old daughter.
Okay, but you know what? It's to each his own.
No, I agree.
At the age of 50 and he wants a newborn baby, so you're going to say he's going to be 51 by the time the baby is born. He'll be 69 when it turns 18.
Yep.
You know, I won't say that it's a disservice to that child, but it's something he needs to think about, because when that child turns 18, go off to college, do all those things, he's at that real right age. But if he finds a woman that wants to do that, because you got to look at Janet Jackson. She had a baby at 50.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you're a celebrity, you can do certain things and get away with it. But is it fair to the children?
Well,
that's the only thing
no, you have an excellent point, Doc. My point is that at 50 you should have already been married at least once. If you didn't and you want to get married, you're not doing the starting a family. People who usually get married older are doing it for companionship, because like Dude said,
well, I believe you can get married at the age of 50 and truly love someone and just love them
right,
all to death.
But they ain't trying to build a family.
You're not looking to start with children, because on the other hand, you might have grandkids. You might, you want that person to live that long, luxurious life where you can travel, where you can play footsies, you can do all of that with them. But with him starting a family, having a baby, I pray that his wife is like 35, 40 tops, because one of them got to be there for the child.
Yeah. You guys sound prejudiced.
Well,
nowadays, 60 is the new what? 40?
60 is the new 60.
Well, baby, I know
body.
60 is the new 40.
You know what
I'm body 60. I ain't trying to have no baby.
First and foremost, I'm 48, soon to be 49, and my youngest is 3. So
yeah, you're a different specimen. Everybody on this show knows that Lady T is a different specimen of a woman.
I still can move and shake, and I'm not going through no midlife crisis. I just had a young husband who loves sex, and whoop.
So I understand that, but okay, you talk about now. You talking about Dr. Fab is in the inaugural 60 club.
I am, baby.
She can technically carry a child to term. However, and this is the problem, is that
does she want to?
That's
no,
true.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Even if you want to,
God wouldn't even do that to me.
Unless you froze your eggs.
Or is it healthy?
I'm saying,
exactly.
Unless you froze your eggs when you were 30, you can't give that man a biological child from you. You can get it through you, but you can't. It won't have your DNA. You just be carrying. The woman will just be carrying an egg, and that's like you said. You 60 and that child maybe got a good 10 years with you, especially if you Black. So yeah, because we don't.
Back. I'm Puerto Rican.
We got that Puerto Rican hair, Puerto Rican hair. It's
I'm Puerto Rican.
But anyway, so yes, people do get married at ages. My cousin Teresa, she's a pastor in New Jersey. She got married at 67. Well, second marriage.
For the first time?
No, second marriage.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say.
She had 3. Well, she had 2 grown children. One tragically My cousin had PTSD and he tragically left us too early, but they got married. Their kids were in their wedding. Their grandkids were in their wedding. So yes, it can happen, but there's no organic family building, at least on the woman's side after 50. Now, not to say you can't have a baby. Like I said, a woman can carry a baby if she has the equipment. She can carry a baby when she's 80. But if she ain't froze her eggs, she carrying somebody else's baby for them. So who do you think out of those two, who do you think, put a one in the box if you think David Banner has a better chance of getting married and starting a family, or two for Vivica Fox getting married and starting a family? I see.
Well, I'm going to say either one of them can get married and start a family because she can have artificial insemination. She can have a surrogate. So if she wants a child, she can have a child.
Yeah, technology is
technology is great.
I know that. I know that there's records of 71-year-old woman being a surrogate. But like I said,
the better chance.
If she depleted all her eggs, if she's gone into the change and she didn't freeze her eggs, no matter how long she carries that child, she can carry that child to term. It's not biologically hers and his. Now, Al Pacino shows a man can still, he be shooting dust, but he got a kid. He got a kid at 82. It's like a 2-year-old kid at 82. The woman's like 29, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh my goodness.
She loved him.
Okay.
But the idea is that if the idea of a family is that you can get married, I think Vivica Fox is still a very attractive woman, and well, I'd be a cub to her because she's a cougar. but my point is that when you want to start your whole family over, you're starting from scratch. David Banner has a better chance of being successful at having a biological child than Vivica Fox would. So men who are getting with Vivica Fox understand that. But and she's never had children of her own, and that's her body, her choice. But a lot of times we don't think about that as we get older. I'm an older guy. I got snipped at the age of about, actually, 28 years ago, April Fool's Day.
And that was a joke on you, right?
No, it wasn't
no joke.
I already had 3 kids. I wasn't trying. I told her, I said, you can have as many as you want. I ain't making no more. The factory's been closed. But saying that is that, when we talk about marriage and we talk about age, people get married at different ages for different reasons. And like I said, he has a much better chance of having his own organic family than Vivica Fox is. But that doesn't mean Vivica Fox can't get married and can't adopt a kid. Those are things that we don't always take into advantage. So I'm gonna ask Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie, are you over 50?
Miss Jackie.
She got a Miss Jackie. Are you there? Are you awake?
No, Miss Jackie watching the football game. It's 3-14. Patriots 3, Jets 14.
Carrie McKinney, can you hear me? Are you watching the game or are you watching us?
Come on, Miss D. Can you hear Dr. Feel Good? Miss D, can you hear me? Everybody in the game. You better call on social media or Simply Beautiful.
Yeah, so social media is a little bit too young, but
she's young. Because she can still have some churn.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm going to ask her, and she put in the box that David Banner would have a better. No, that was Simply Beautiful. Social media. If you find yourself getting, is she on now? She's still on? Yes, she is.
She's on.
social media, if you find yourself at 45 and someone wanted to marry you and said they wanted kids, how amenable to that would you be?
Definitely not having kids at 45.
Why not? What if he wants a child?
Adopt.
Okay. That's what's up. I'm the reason I'm asking because I just want to. So I know Miss Dottie is a.
I think it all depends. Like when I hear this, if someone meets you and you're 45 and you don't have any kids and they want kids, I think I have a lot of friends who would still be okay with having kids at 45. I think it all depends on where you are in life. Like now, it's like if you already have children too, I think that plays a big part. At 45, I wouldn't have wanted to have kids, and at 50, I definitely don't want to have kids because I already have two grown children. But I feel like I have 50-year-old friends that don't have kids that would love to do whatever they needed to, or, medically or however, and they wouldn't mind having kids if they met someone.
At 45, Andrew?
Yeah, because they didn't have kids. I have
even at 50. I'm on Andreen on this one because these days a lot of friends that don't have
so they'll
kids
be
are willing to have
63 when their child turned 18. I just think that
they don't care about that.
So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I have some of those now because I have literal friends that had their first kids at 45 at that age, and I was like I was looking at them like, "Ooh, good luck with that." But they were excited and happy because they want each.
I just feel like it's a disservice to the children. I don't care what you say. And then y'all gonna shoot Dr. Fabulous when I say this. But most of the time, when older people have children, the children tend to look a little old. But that's not for me to say.
That's conjecture, but I agree with you though. if I had a child,
forgive me, God. I'm so glad I'm not having no more children.
If I had a child of my age, he come out looking like Methuselah.
Oh,
Methuselah's older brother,
I'm just saying.
But but that's the thing is that especially these days, over the last 30 years, the average age of women having their first children went from 23 to 28.
I think because women sacrifice a lot. They're busy with career, they're busy with life, so they put the children piece on the back burner, and then it comes like
absolutely, Andrew.
Yeah, and I think that's the same way I feel about David Banner. He was too busy being a rapper and doing whatever he wanted to do, and it's like, oh, I'm 50 now.
But David Banner fine, y'all, because Dr. Fabulous sure will be a Cougaranian for him, baby. Let's go get one of our grandkids. They can be your baby.
Gary put something in the chat.
Yeah, I just thought I was going to respond. The question, Miss Carrie, is, who do you think has a better chance of getting married and having a family, David Banner or Vivica Fox? And if you were 45, would you still be amenable to having children?
Okay, I think David Banner will have a better chance, being that he's a guy, and I know Vivica A. Fox. She can just do like what's her name? Dwayne Wade and his wife. They had a surrogate. So if you want a baby, you can do it that way. Other than that, you have somebody younger with somebody older, and the baby will be okay. But if you had two old people, the baby would come out retarded.
Ooh.
We don't use that word anymore.
Okay, a little challenge because
intellectually disabled is correct.
But not necessarily so, because there are some older people that have had children and they weren't mentally challenged or anything. They just tended to look a little older per se, but they weren't mentally challenged. They were perfectly fine, perfectly healthy.
Right.
Well, I'm speaking from experience. My cousin had a child from an older gentleman, and something's wrong with him.
There was some bad genes. You got to look at the genes.
Women's eggs start deteriorating rapidly after the age of 35. men's sperm deteriorate at a rapid pace after age 40. So if you're 40-year-old male and a 35-year-old female, the chances of your child being born with a disability is a lot higher than if both of y'all were 35. And your health also plays the help in keeping your sperm and eggs fit. If you're obese or overweight, you smoke, you drink, the quality of your eggs and sperm drastically decrease. When you're young, your body's strong enough, but as you hit, as we get older, our body stops working as efficiently as it used to. That goes with eggs, and that goes with sperm. And once a woman's out of eggs and she didn't freeze eggs, she can't. The show's over. She can't have a surrogate. She can have a surrogate with somebody else's egg, and her husband. It ain't it. But obviously, Gabrielle Union froze eggs because that's I think that's their biological child, even though she didn't want to birth one through the birth canal or C-section. But
they said she lost a couple of them, so that's why she didn't want to go through that again. But I felt like I had my daughter at 29, and I thought that was old.
Well, you gotta consider over the last 400 or 500 years, people had. I mean, I can go in my family, for example. My eldest sister had her first at 20. My mother had her first at 20. My grandmother had her first at 21, and my great grandmother had hers at 17. My great great grandmother had her at 17, and then her mother had her at 16.
Wow.
So I mean, yes, it's quite a few years have passed, but as we get, a lot of factors playing in: our diets, our exercise, our mental health, our ability to have the libido or the essence to be able to procreate and be able to chase children. Because everybody in here,
that's the killer right there. To chase.
I said that's why
you got that bad right knee.
Look, Lady T, I admire you for seasoned as you are and having a young child.
Yes, God. And I tell her every happy Mother's Day, baby, you the best mother there is. There's no way in the world.
That's Superwoman.
Go ahead, lady.
Now, don't forget. And she'll have some more if she could.
I
can.
Please
but I'm
don't.
not. I'm not. But keep
you.
in mind that I have a 32-year-old as well.
Yes.
So listen to that.
With that being said, 32, I have soon to be 11 next month, a 5 and a 3. But I think women, we always sacrifice ourselves and put our career first and then our children last. And most women would love to have a child, and due to health reasons or whatever else, they can't. So they have to go the second route, which is surrogate, adoption or whatever. So with that said, I think you guys have to be a little bit more, open, because middle age crisis, sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's let me make my money, save my pennies, and then let me settle down and really, enjoy my children. That is my perspective on it.
Well, Lady T, we gonna send David Banner your way, honey. We gonna send him.
I don't need him.
Your way.
I am done with men. I don't need him.
No, I'm talking babies. You say you might feel another one.
His money ain't long enough for me. Because I love to breastfeed.
Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We are moving right along.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. So also another couple, and we talked about age gap dating a few months, about 2 months ago. We talked about romanticism. We've talked about a whole lot of things. I want to talk about this in my session to kind of give everybody get everybody's perspective on if you don't have children now, and as you get older, how important will children be to your relationship? Because some people, baby fever is a real thing. Baby fever is a real thing. But Wisteria, are you there? Are you there, Wisteria?
I'm gonna put my application out there. I'm just looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with, and we're gonna have a ball. And we don't want children. Hint, hint.
and that's a conversation that couples really don't have a lot about. Even, he's going in there saying, David Banner's going in there saying he wants kids. He says he wants kids. A lot of people think they want kids until it's time to produce, and then they like, do I really want it? And then some people have children, and especially if you're 45 and your child is 3, you like, and there's a whole bunch of different things behind that. So, you walking with your grandchild.
48, and my son is 3. Yes.
And some people ask if that's your grandkid.
And then you got to get a babysitter. You got to find a nanny.
And I do not have a problem with that. And whomever who likes to roll with me have a problem, that's their problem, because I don't have to go. My kids will always be first.
And see, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that you can find women like Lady T.
And can't put that man first, but she's putting babies first.
But no, be quiet, Simply Beautiful. Be quiet. Don't start no ruckus.
Me and man, listen, we put each other first, but the kids will always be first.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, when you find mothers like Lady T, you find a good mother, because at her age and having a 3-year-old, I be doggone, she got to be a tip-top mom,
Yeah,
but listen, I can knock on wood for her 10 times, because I know at my age, certain things just deter me. Like, she can tune out noise, she can tune out crying, she can do all of that. But when I call her and her children are in the midst of having their time, I'll talk to you later, Lady T, because I know with me, I can't get down like that. That's how I say she is one in a million. And I applaud her every Mother's Day. Papa Doc got his hand up.
I agree. I applaud her also. I still love you, Lady T.
Me too.
Go ahead, Papa Doc.
So I have like a 2-part question. Lady T, this kind of involves you. So I'm trying to get an understanding. Lady T is 48 with a 3-year-old. So she had a child in her later years. The sight for her to raise a child is better than a man for me to be 50 plus years old and have a child, because I'm going to be 68 years old when the child is 18. So her scenario is, as a woman, is better than the scenario as a man?
No, Papa Doc, it's the same. To me, my personal opinion. Because you can be a good mother, like you can be a good mother. But for some reason, stereotyping is involved in this conversation tonight. Just because you of a later age, you can't rock and roll. Well, who put those boundaries there? I never stay, in those boundaries. Society can't tell me that I have to have my child at a young age, retire, and then just, garden after 70. No, sir, that's not going to happen. If I want to have my children middle aged and watch them grow up and 60 years old running behind them, then that's what I'll do. That's my choice.
But
Lord,
then
please,
hopefully you will be able to run after them, because some people can't run after them. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, even at Papa Doc's age or whatever, I would love to see him running after a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. I would love to see that.
Well, let me say this, because this is the second. This is the second part of my scenario. Okay, I will say this. So I'm 58, and I haven't thrown out the window that I still wouldn't mind having children. Now, however you perceive that or whether that's on you, that's my opinion. But the thing that comes with that is when I had children, I have 3 children by 3 different women. So my next child will be by another different woman. It made me a better person. It made me a better father, even than I am today. Children made me responsible, which helped me really become successful because I have no responsibility today. So I'm like a dog that just got out of his cage. I'm here, there, everything. When my children were under 21, it kept me in bounds. It kept me being responsible, and now I don't have that, and that's a part
So
of my
you think
life
you need a
that I
baby
miss.
to be a responsible man at 58? Papa Docs, I'm gonna have to shoot you in
No,
your left toe.
no, I think it would help me in a certain way in my life as far as staying on track,
Okay,
because
fix
I'm
that one
kind of
up.
off the track.
That was real good, Papa Doc. I
Yeah,
like that.
No,
yeah,
what he's saying is it helps him, appreciate the smaller things. And,
No,
yes,
that wasn't what he was saying.
that's it. Yes, it was.
yeah,
Read
Mm-mm.
between
He
the
yeah.
said it
lines.
kept him focused. So I'm
Yes,
trying. My
and
question is, you can't be focused without having a baby at
because you
58.
lose yourself, Dr. Fab, in other things. You
Yes,
can work, 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 lose yourself. Um, Travel, lose yourself. You could just lose yourself, and then you're like those rich people. They got so much money, they don't know what to do. But when you
right.
have
There you
children,
go.
you see life through a certain, I, like me, I had never been to Disney on Ice. When I took my daughter Malia to Disney on Ice, I was like, oh wow, whoa, this is cool, and I never would have appreciated that moment because guess what? I never been, I don't know, and we're bonding. So it kind of like grounded me. And now when my children, I used to hate field trips, but now when they say, Mom, can you go on a field trip? Sure. I chaperone and I'm seeing things from their perspective. So it kind of like grounds you and pulls you back and lets you really truly appreciate certain things.
Definitely, definitely. So I'm going to pat. My time is up because the show's almost run its course. I want to thank everybody for their answers and their input, and I'm going to pass it back to the lovely, the one and only, the CEO. So y'all say yo to Dr. Fabulous. Yo.
Okay. Listen, I am just really clowning this evening. Papa Doc, if you need 10 more children to keep you rooted and grounded, shoot it up, shoot it up, shoot it up. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do.
Yeah, go in the club,
And
shoot it up
shoot
Papa
it
Doc, but
recklessly.
up. That's
but I'm taking
that's what I'm
applications for God
saying.
Daddy.
Anywho, for some odd reason, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. Everybody love what they love. And if I said what I really wanted to say, you all will say, oh, Dr. Fabulous, you wrong for that. You wrong for that. So I'm
Please
not
say
going to
it.
say it,
Just
but
close it out and say
anywho,
it.
Your mind,
I'm
Dr.
going
Fab.
to say thank
Say
Yeah,
you,
it.
each and every
don't
one of you,
don't bite
each
your
and
tongue
every
now.
one of you for coming on. See, that's when you can take control and mute people when you don't want to hear what they got to say. You just mute them. And anywho, I thank each and every one of you for coming on this evening. To all the individuals that enjoy football and you don't know the score, the Patriots have 3 and the Jets have 14 in the third quarter. I just figured I'd put that out there for all my football playing individuals. And with that being said, Lady T, do you have anything else other to say? Anything else?
Yes, please, everyone get out and vote, vote, vote. We're down to the wire now. So register and vote.
Okay. And social media diva?
Yes, I want to thank everybody for coming on. And just to remind anyone who did not hear the first part about our costume celebration party on October 31st. Make sure that you do wear a costume. If you don't want to participate or don't believe in Halloween, just wear any type of fall or festy kind of outfit. We're definitely going to do some great games. We're going to give away some prizes and just have a good time with us. If you guys have any other question ideas, just email us at upscaleloveforyou@gmail.com. Okay.
All right. Well, I will say once again, thank you all so much for coming. It's been a real thrill. And with that being said, I'm going to say good night and smooches. Mwah. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.